Today is the 7th of May 2019. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Bringing you the news, I'm Tharusha Kumar Singha, and here are your headlines.
Chief Prelate of the Malwatu sector presents a proposal on national security to the President, Prime Minister and Opposition Leader. Search operations out island-wide, explosives and other materials seized. Colombo district organizer of the now banned National Tawqeed Jamaat further remanded. 1 million plant and animal species are facing the risk of extinction. Sri Lanka cricket team leaves the island to take part in the 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup.
On to a top story now. The chief incumbent of the Siam sect of the Malwatu chapter, Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera, has issued a communique highlighting how the political leaders of the country, including the President, Prime Minister and the opposition leader, should act given the prevailing security situation in the country.
The communique states that all political divisions should be set aside to root out terrorism from the country. The chief incumbent of the Malwatu chapter said that a policy should be formulated to ensure national security and the development of the country, no matter which party come into power. The communique draws attention towards a number of steps that should be taken to prevent various terrorist organizations from setting up operations in Sri Lanka. These include the abolishment of laws based on a person's religion and bringing the entire country under one legal framework, introduction of a common education system instead of the current system that segregates students based on their religions, and formulating policies to regulate educational institutions that are based on religious ideologies. The communique also recommends a ban against certain clothing items like the burqa and the niqab to be made permanent through the introduction of necessary laws to extradite people residing illegally in the country and are a threat to national security while taking legal action against those who facilitate them. The communique further adds that steps should be taken to prevent the allocation of lands based on racial and religious differences. The chief incumbent of the Malwatu chapter also pointed out that steps should be taken to stop standardization based on religious beliefs and imposing special charges on these food items.
Now, the communique that you saw was issued by the chief prelate of the Malwatu chapter, Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thero, in more local news now. Although the schools were reopened for the second term, the Ministry of Education has taken steps to temporarily stop all the extracurricular activities and sports practices. According to the Additional Secretary of the Ministry, H.M. Ratnayaka, these steps have been taken due to the current security situation that is prevailing in the country. However, there was an increase in the attendance of students today compared to the low turnout we saw yesterday.
Security units were deployed today as well to ensure the safety of the schools. According to our correspondent, attendance of the students at Royal College Colombo have increased compared to the numbers yesterday. Minister of Power, Energy and Business Development Ravi Karunanayake visited the schools and inquired of the security situation. I came to see whether our children are secure. We should come and stand for these students because this is also my school. We should empower them. This is in a good state now. How can we stop these terrorists without knowing who they are? That is why our army and the police have come forward to put a stop to this. To safeguard all the schools is our responsibility. However, the attendance of the students in Anand College Colombo, Anand Balika and Gautami Balika Vidyalaya was low compared to yesterday. Usually you can see about 300 vehicles here. There are only 3 today. Not a single child came today. Parents don't send their children because they are afraid. This is such a waste. According to our correspondent, a comparatively better turnout has been recorded from the Soma Devi Vidyalaya in Kolonnava and the Kolonnava Balika Vidyalaya. Our correspondent said there is also a better turnout at the Anuradhapura Central School compared to yesterday's numbers. We have implemented a program in line with our school's internal security. We have informed the teachers and the non-academic staff. The responsibility of ensuring the security has been divided among them. Therefore, the school security is guaranteed by our own standards. We saw a massive turnout today compared to the numbers of yesterday.
Now, the Acting Inspector General of Police, C.D. Vikramaratne, spoke on the current security situation in the country at a media briefing held yesterday.
Following the unfortunate incidents on the 21st of April, the Sri Lanka police were able to apprehend and identify everyone who were involved in carrying out the attack and arrest almost everyone who were involved in it. Many of the suspects had committed suicide. There were 2 specialists on explosives in that group. Both of them are currently deceased. Also, the group that was involved in these attacks had stashed away a stock of explosives to be used in a future attack. All of these explosives were seized by the police. Thereby, the police can clearly state that we have clearly identified everyone who were involved in the attack, and the people who were instrumental in carrying out the attack are either dead or in the custody of police. All the explosives have also been seized. The people's lives are turning to normalcy. One example is the fact that we have removed curfew that was imposed under the emergency law in the country. Activities at religious places of worship, especially at mosques, are being conducted as usual. Religious activities of Catholic devotees in many areas of the country are returning to normalcy. Speaking about the security at schools in the country, a training program is being conducted, notifying students and the parents on how they should ensure the security at school premises. That does not mean that there is a direct threat to schools, but everyone should be aware on how to provide some sort of protection. We are currently conducting that awareness program.
Taking a look at a headline-making news item, security forces continue to conduct search operations across the island.
Items used to manufacture explosive devices, including 243 gelinite sticks, 145 detonators, gunpowder, as well as ammonia had been found in Kalavava village in Anuradhapura. The raid was carried out based on a tip-off received by the police. One individual has been arrested and is due to be produced before the Kakirava Magistrates Court today. Police seized 2 army uniforms and clothes that were similar to the army uniform Tenupura in Anuradhapura. One individual has been arrested on suspicion. 2 hand grenades, 134 bullets and 13 bullet casings were found inside a drain located along the Dulapitia road in Baduragoda, Mirigama. The raid was carried out based on a tip-off received by the Palavela police. The raid was conducted jointly by the police and the Air Force. A search operation was carried out in Moratuwakta, Pasiala based on a tip-off received by police. A Bora gun and 12 bullets were found inside the bag that was found in the area. A gun was found in a similar bag inside a mosque. The Maulavi of the mosque was arrested under suspicion yesterday. He has been released after interrogations.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
Look at the number of foreigners who are coming into the country as a result of what happened. Foreign military personnel are coming into the country. We have opened the doors. This is not something that is good. There are officials of institutions like the FBI. What are they doing in the country? The secret agreements that this government is signing with these countries should be presented to the parliament. There are preparations to grant complete diplomatic immunity to certain people that will be brought to the country by certain embassies. This means that they will not be under any legal parameters. We do not know how many people will be arriving in this manner. We cannot be providing the privileges that are accorded to the embassies to people, and we cannot provide immunity like that. You cannot exempt items that are being brought into the country through ports and airports from the custom law. There is the ability through certain clauses to operate communications independently without being under the authority of the TRC. We cannot make our country a hunting ground that belongs to the foreign powers.
Now, the Mahanayaka of the Amarapura sect, Agrapandi, the Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera, expressed these views on the current situation of the country.
This incident took place when the Sinhala, Tamil, Muslim, Catholic and other communities in the country were living in peace. This is not something that began in our country. This originated from foreign terrorist organizations. How many weapons were discovered? If these weapons were used, hundreds of thousands of people would have lost their lives. This is a preparation to aggravate even a small incident in the country and create instability in the island and disturb the peace that the people and the government are trying to establish. Children are not attending schools, teachers can't go to teach at schools, devotees can't go to temples and churches. People don't have money in their hands. It seems as if the entire country has come to a standstill. If we unite and change this situation in the country, we can solve this problem quickly.
Headline making news now. The Colombo district organizer of the now banned National Tawheed Jamaat, Mohammed Fawaz, was further remanded until the 21st of May today. The suspect was produced before the Colombo Additional Magistrate Priyantha Liyanage this morning. Court ordered for a report on the progress of the investigations to be presented to court when the case is taken up again. Now, a Sri Lankan who arrived at the BIA has been arrested for the possession of a narcotic substance known as ice today.
According to the police, the suspect was arrested based on a tip-off received by Police Narcotics Bureau. The suspect had arrived in the island from Chennai, India. 2,901 kilograms were discovered inside a concealed layer inside the suspect's travelling bag. The suspect is a 68-year-old resident of Mabola, Wattala. The police said that he will be produced before the Negombo Magistrate Court and steps will be taken to obtain detention orders to interrogate the suspect for 7 days.
Sri Lanka Navy arrested a total of 12 people for engaging in illegal fishing in Trincomalee and Shemmale.
8 people were arrested in Back Bay, Trincomalee for using illegal fishing nets and were arrested during a night patrol carried out by the Sri Lanka Navy. A dinghy boat and a number of illegal fishing nets were seized by the Navy. On a separate note, Navy apprehended 4 people who engaged in illegal fishing in the seas of Chemmale. Accordingly, a crew of naval craft attached to the Eastern Naval Command had apprehended these 4 persons who had used banned nets for illegal fishing during a patrol carried out in the seas of Chemmale. A dinghy and outboard motor, 2 banned nets were also taken into naval custody. The suspects, along with the arrested fishing gears, were handed over to the office of the Assistant Director of Fisheries, Mulathivu, for onward legal action.
Still in local news, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board announced that the water supply to Kalutara and surrounding areas will be interrupted from 8 a.m. tomorrow for a period of 12 hours. The water supply is being interrupted to conduct urgent repairs at the regional power station located at the Kethena water purification plant. According to the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, the supply of water will be interrupted in Vaduwa, Vaskadua, Kalutara South and North, Katukurunda, Payagala, Pilamkawatta, Bombuwala, Maggona, Beruwala, Kaluamodara, Moragalla, Alutgama, Dargatown and Benthota. The adjournment motion on the current security situation in the country will commence in the Parliament today. The Working Committee on Parliamentary Affairs decided yesterday to hold a 2-day debate regarding the security situation